Hi everyone, and welcome to the Gab and Elevate podcast slash girl talk. Because it's not really a podcast, you can't really find this anywhere else but YouTube. But so basically, on the Gab and Elevate series, I'm just gonna be talking about different things that are affecting me at the time, and also different situations I feel like other young women around my age who can understand and relate to. Like today. Our situation that we're talking about is navigating toxic situations, relationships, or just situations in general. Mine is based on a job and that whole situation, but we're gonna get into it further. So let's dive right in. Today's topic, we're gonna be talking about toxic situations and pretty much like letting go from toxicity and all the things that have to do with that. I feel like the first thing we really need to talk about is just what deems as a toxic situation, because I feel like when you are in the moment and you're living these different experiences, you're not really registering it in your head as like, oh, that was some messed up stuff, or like you're not really peeping what's going on, but you are at the same time. You're just probably naive to the point where like you're just like, okay, maybe that was just a one-time thing that happened because of X, Y, and Z. Like it will get past it, like it'll move on, it'll progress. But yeah, it's just little things that I feel like as humans we notice and we realize, hey, that didn't really sit right with me. What you said, that was very disrespectful. Like that came out of nowhere too. Like it was very rude. Just little things I feel like we peep as like red flags, but we don't necessarily say it because of the, I guess, bliss that we're in of not really completely realizing everything that has to do with this person or situation, but because we're on a high of either being in this relationship or finding this job, you're not even taking into account that some of these red flags that you're picking up on is probably the reason why you either are got into the situation just because of you being naive, or just completely literally unaware, and sadly you're in this position. I guess one thing that I can definitely discuss on is me realizing when it was time to let go and to move on with this certain job. It was just higher ups in the, obviously, the workforce that I was working a part of. And he would really drop, it was a man, obviously, he would really drop just little red flags here and there. I remember I started working there, and it's like a hourly job. Like, I'm young, I'm still in college right now, so I was just doing like a part-time job to, make some money for myself and make stuff happen for myself. So anyways, it was a part-time job, and I remember I just got the job and I had dropped an item or something. Mind you, the item was it was in a plastic bottle. It didn't break or anything, and it dropped. I didn't drop it on purpose. It dropped on accident. And the man was under his breath, but he didn't, not under his breath, but he said it loud enough that I could hear. He was like, "We're gonna take that out of your paycheck." Of course, me being me, I feel like that was one of the situations where I feel like it was definitely a red flag. But because I was just so happy for the opportunity to have this job, because it was my first real job, I kind of just swept it under the rug. It kind of was maybe he didn't mean it like that. I didn't even really fully click or was aware of exactly what he was saying, but I didn't take it how he was trying to throw it down. Situation for me that I've definitely been through would have to be not only working there and going through those little red flags from the moment I was hired, but just friendships. I feel like that's another great example. Friendships that I was recently in friendship with these two other girls. They seemed really nice. I met them at the job, and we used to hang out all the time. We'd go a bunch of different places. We would hang out, and all of a sudden I realized, and I feel like toxicity, it's very there's a pattern. Of course, there's definitely a pattern, but it's also something where I feel like if you are very just naive to the situation and you're going in there with good energy, you're not, like, you're picking up on these things, but you're not picking up on these things. Like, you know that they're doing you dirty, but you're so happy to even be in a situation that you're not even realizing this person is really treating me like shit until you actually say it out loud. And it came to a point where I was talking with my friends and I was basically telling them how my quote unquote friend, I was talking to my actual friends who I'm still friends with to this day about these girls that I'm no longer friends with, on how they would just like pretty much pick all the information from me on what's going on with my life and just be talking about everybody at the job. I mean, everybody under the sun. They were talking about everyone and just being very messy and catty like all the time. And I was just telling her about how just that situation one, which she was like, girl, like that's messed up. Like you don't need to be around those people. But also the fact that like they were drawing away from me. I never realized in the moment that it was a blessing, but it was like very messed up because like I don't understand how me as a person or anybody who could like is in your life is treating you super nice, like utmost respect. I mean, is like trying to help you with pretty much everything and anything in your life. Super nice, is a good person, is an amazing friend, and you're going to slowly like fade them out of your life for what? For what? I didn't understand that. I mean, anyways, it was messed up, you know. It just wasn't the best people to be around. Overall, I feel like we were just on two different life paths, but instead of them just being the bigger person because they are older than me, which I've started to realize that age and maturity are like two completely different things. You cannot like combine the two. They completely do not, they don't go together. Like you might be older and wiser, but that doesn't mean that you're mature, because I mean, it's disgusting. No, it's disgusting. I feel like as I have gotten older, I've realized that just because you're older doesn't mean that you have common sense, one, or a heart, or basic anything. I really don't understand. People really just be doing stuff just because everybody else is doing it, or because they want to and they know that it's messed up. Like I don't understand. And then the kicker on it is that they'll actually give it like they'll give excuses, like they'll back it up. They'll back up the messed up stuff that they're doing to make it make sense to them, which is crazy. I feel like that would be like my personal like toxic story recently that I've been through. Just little red flags here and there that really made me realize I needed to leave. Like I obviously understand that like letting go is super hard, especially for me, because when I was friends with those girls at the time, I mean, I was super young and I still am, but all of my friends, because I am doing school online, so I was kind of like working and I'm like away from everyone, because like all of my friends are like off at college, like they're living on campus, so I was like alone. I think what scared me I think what really hit me was the fact that like not only did I put myself in a situation like that again, where I'm like with some negative, toxic, terrible individuals, but also like I have pretty much no one else to like go to. So I mean, like I can definitely 1000% understand the fear of letting go. I see it 100%. Like it was hard for me, but ultimately in the end, it was the best decision I could have ever made, just because once that happened, I was able to really focus on myself and like everything that I was like neglecting before. Like I really love YouTube. I really love, you know, creating like makeup videos, which I'm pretty sure you've seen on my channel, like the YouTube, like the shorts that I do for like my makeup videos. I love creating content. It's what I love to do. I mean, hello, I'm doing it right now. And I was really neglecting that being with them. They were really more so of just like, they just wanted to go out. They just wanted to go out and drink, and party. I mean, to each his own, do whatever you want. but it just wasn't for me. Also back to my situation at work, since that's what we're talking about mainly, or what I'm trying to talk to y'all about. Yeah, with work, I feel like it wasn't really completely a whole different situation, because I feel like I still went through the same emotions, but it was a whole ordeal. It was a whole thing. And I think that you should, even though I'm kind of giving out advice, not really, I feel like I'm just telling my story. You should not take advice from everyone. I feel like you should take advice from people who you actually like want to be like. You want, like, you look at their life and you're like, shit, I wouldn't be mad at that. Like, I wouldn't be mad if I had that life. Because I was taking advice from the wrong person. The wrong person. I was listening to the wrong people, and it like caused me to really be fearful in losing that job, when it was causing me nothing but stress and anxiety. There was like this guy who I'm still kind of cool with, and he's like older than me. He's like I don't remember his age, but he's like older. He's like in his like mid late 20s. Anyways, and he was basically saying, and I was basically telling him how I felt, and how the higher ups were treating me, and how I was just stressed out and I was over it and like overwhelmed, and I was crying, and I was like, I don't even really need this job like that. And I know not everybody can say that, and of course, you know, keep doing what's right for you and your life and what you got to get done. Because I did talk to one of my coworkers too. She is a single mom, and she was like, I wish I could go. She did put in her, she was like applying to other jobs, but she couldn't go because like no one like accepted her yet, so she has to work there, which I completely understand. I'm never gonna put down anybody, but I was just basically saying to him, like, I'm like 20 years old. Like, I had just turned 20 at the time, like very fresh, very new to it, and I was just like, I don't even really need this job like that. Like, I could really, like, I should like just leave. And he was like basically telling me like, no, you know you need this job, like, you know, you have bills. And I'm like, sir, like, I'm like, bills? Thank God I have a mother who like is absolutely amazing. I love my mom like to like the moon and back. Like, I love my mom. Yeah, but like my mom like pretty much takes care of like everything. So fortunately, like, I don't really have to worry about bills like that. Like, I don't have anything to really be going crazy about. I mean, I am in college. Like, I'm just like very, very young. Like, I don't have a whole ordeal. Like, I don't have responsibilities like that. So anyways, but I guess he does. And he was kind of inflicting his fear of like, if he loses this job, where, like, you know what I mean, where else is he gonna get the money from to keep supporting his life, which I completely understand. But me listening to that, it kind of just triggered fear within myself, and feeling like I can't go anywhere else. Like, I need this job, like, I need to stay here. Like, the sense of stability just being kicked from right underneath me is like the scariest thing in the world. And I feel like it would be for like any and everyone. That's just how it is being human. I feel like fear is just, it's such a powerful thing. Like, it controls human beings. I feel like there's many different examples, but I won't go into it. But I feel like there's examples in our day-to-day that we don't even realize, where we are being controlled by fear. But overall, like, yeah, it just made me feel like I can't leave this job. Like, I need this job. Like, where am I, like, what's gonna happen? Like, is there gonna be any other opportunities for me if I do exit from this job? Like, what's gonna happen? And overall, I remember the other day I was talking to this girl, and I just was basically telling her like, hey, because I was like pretty much over it. Like, I was over with the job. Like, I was done, and I was just like moving on at this point. Which I'm like, my last day is tomorrow, by the way. But I'm gonna put this video out, I don't know. But anyways, Monday's my last day. But yeah, I was basically just talking to her, and she's like 2 years younger than me. And I was like, you literally, like, she's like she's 18, and I was like, you really don't need this job. Like, you do not need to be letting them stress you out and all this thing and all, you know, and everything else. And she was like, I don't really feel stressed out, but like, you're young too. Like, you don't need to be staying with like staying in a situation where they're pressuring you and all these things. Like, you're good. Like, and hearing that from her really just reminded me that like, I am young. Like, I do have a lot ahead of me. Like, there's nothing to be fearful of. Like, and there's nothing to be fearful of, period. Like, I've got this. But it was definitely a situation where I was like absolutely scared, just because I wanted this to be my one and only job, and for me to just kind of like from here just move on towards like my actual career, because I was very swamped and very busy with doing YouTube and creating my videos, doing school, working. School and work, first of all, that takes up a lot of time. Trying to create videos on the side as well, and then also working on my swimwear business. Also, announcement, I have some new things coming up soon, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, like also trying to work on that, which is like what I want to do in life. So it was a lot of different things like really scaring me. It was like, this is like a stable paycheck, but at the same time it really wasn't. My hours were getting cut. I was being talked down to. I was being treated like absolute garbage. Basically the blame was, everything was on me. If I didn't get it done, it's my fault. You know what I mean? Even if it was like a crap ton of work to get done, that was absolutely like not even possible for one human to get done within 5 hours. It was crazy. Like, it was, you have to get X, Y, and Z done within a certain amount of time, and that certain amount of time is very small. So it was a lot, and I just couldn't take it anymore. But overall, it was very scary, and it definitely, getting that advice from that guy definitely, I feel like, just scared me even more into feeling like I need this. Like, I can't go. Like, where would I go? You know what I mean? And I think it's very messed up, but fear, I mean. But I feel like the thing that really helped me with this was definitely talking it out. Oh my God. There's nothing like having a friend. It doesn't matter if you have one single friend or a bunch, but just having someone to really talk to that you trust and you can actually look up to and be like, yeah, I'm gonna take advice from her because her life is going great. You don't even have to take it from me. I'm fine with that. But I'm just saying, take advice from people who are doing better than you, and also from people that you trust and who you know just want the best for you, but also are not going to try and hold you down and hold you back from your potential. At the same time, I feel like you need to trust yourself, of course, because I feel like sometimes people, like, they mean well for you, but at the same time they're just like scared, like, what are you gonna do after this? Like, what if it doesn't work out? So definitely trust in yourself, but also, you know, if you do have any like good friends out there that you could trust completely, or people that you can take advice from, definitely talk to them. And sometimes not even getting the advice from them, but just hearing yourself speak about the different situations that you're going through will be the answer enough that you need to really get up and leave. That's all you'll need, is just to hear exactly what you're going through, and you're just gonna be like, hope, like, wow, like, eye-opening. Because for me, hearing it out loud, every single thing that I was going through, whether it was with friends or the job, it was completely like life-changing in a very nasty way, because I was realizing I was really putting up with a lot of crazy stuff, but life-changing, because overall I've gotten past it and I'm doing better and life's great. So definitely talk to people that you trust and just talk it out. Even if you need to, like, you know, this might be weird. I might cut this out, maybe not, just because, you know, we're human, we're all kind of weird. But maybe sometimes you need to talk to yourself and just, you know, let it out and just talk to yourself about how your day went, how you felt, what happened, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about your day. Journaling is always great too. But yeah, just let it out. Just let it out. Letting it out is so important, but let it out in a healthy way. Yeah. Or talk to a therapist. I feel like therapy is good, but I feel like at the same time, everybody doesn't have that ability to talk to a therapist because, you know, we all have different situations. The thing that I really want to get out there is just trusting in the future. I feel like everybody has situations in their lives where they at one point were like scared like to no end, and they were like, oh my god, this is about to be the end, like this is gonna be the end. But eventually everything worked itself out, and you're probably not even thinking about those situations anymore. So the main thing I just want y'all to take away from this is, no matter what you're going through, like just know that like everything is going to work itself out. The future is going to be bright. Everybody, like, I remember I was watching this one quote. I really like Real Housewives of Atlanta, shout out Candy, and she was basically saying how like it's not gonna rain forever, like, and just knowing like it's not gonna be bad. You know, you're not gonna like go through this rough point for the rest of your life. Eventually it's gonna be good, and you're gonna move on and look back and be like, wow, that situation really helped me. And yeah, like there was nothing to worry about. Everything always works itself out for the best. Like everything always does. And I remember and that just brings me back to the fear thing, even though we're trying to get past it. But yeah, I remember I had went back to work because my 2 weeks weren't up yet, and they were basically just saying, do you have any other opportunities? Like, are you going anywhere else? And when I told them like I'm letting God handle it, like everything is gonna work itself out, like I'm not worried about that, they were basically very skeptical about that and very like, oh my god, like what do you mean? Like I could never do that if I were you. And I'm just like, that's the thing. But yeah, I feel like the main thing is just knowing that like everything will work itself out, and that fear is very messed up. That's a very messed up feeling to have. I don't know why God gave us those feelings, but yeah, that fear is something that's really gonna like take you down a very bad path. Like if you let it, you really just gotta trust in the Lord, trust in God, trust in the universe, but also trust in yourself and knowing that everything's gonna be okay. Like just take that leap of faith, because otherwise you're just gonna end up in a situation where you're just miserable, and nobody wants to be miserable. That's disgusting. And you're gonna be around miserable people. Like who wants to be around miserable people? Like those girls were miserable, and look how they looked. Okay, I'm not gonna say that, that's mean, but they were terrible. You don't want to be around that. You don't want to be that person. Just take that leap of faith, and there's always going to be other opportunities out there. Just know and trust that, and just go with God. And just go with God. I feel like I should give y'all a situation where everything did work out, just so you guys feel a little bit better, because I feel like saying it is a lot easier than going through it, even though I'm going through it right now, and I'm just trusting. I'm like very chill with it, because like everything always works out. I just look back in my life and I've seen it multiple times where things worked out. Like one example being my schooling situation. I remember I graduated early, so I was actually a junior at that point, but that was my senior year, and I had realized I did not get the scholarship for me to go to school. It was like a Bright Futures scholarship for me to go to any university, and I was like down and out. I was so sick. I was like, how in the world am I gonna pay for college? Like there's absolutely no way. Like I can't go to college. Like of course I could get in, like that's not the point. I feel like anybody could get in. You could even start at like at a community college and work your way up. That's just, you know what I mean, you just put in the work. But to spend thousands of dollars on, you know, semesters at school it's crazy. A lot of people don't have that money, that type of cash just in hand, and I was not about to have my mother, you know, go through that. So I was really scared, and I was just like, I don't know how this is gonna happen. So once I got the acceptance letter, I was basically kind of frantic and I was freaking out about how everything was gonna play out. But fortunately, my school was taken care of and I was able to go to school for pretty much free. It's my schooling is taken care of and I'm able to study and not have to worry about student loans and stuff like that. And I'm like eternally grateful. So yeah, overall things work itself out. There's really nothing to be really fearful about. I feel like that you like everything. You could be fearful of the entire world. You could, or you could switch your perspective and just go in life with like a happy mindset, a happy like this is gonna work out, everything's gonna work out, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Just switch your perspective. Sometimes that's all you gotta do. Life is about perspective. Switch it, it's gonna be positive, it's gonna be great. And it just might. So another important thing for sure would definitely have to be having a good support team. I feel like nobody like really should be alone in this world. There isn't over 8 billion people on this planet for you to be alone and, you know, pretty much isolate yourself from the world. Definitely have people close to you that you trust, that you love, who bring you nothing but like positive energy. Of course, sometimes they annoy us because I feel like that's just what humans do. Humans are annoying at times. I can't name a human that isn't annoying. I'm just being real. I'm probably annoying. I am. It is what it is. You are too. That's just life. But just people that you know, that you trust and who want the best for you and who you know are gonna be there for you even those days where you're probably calling them up talking about the same stuff over and over and over again, but you know they're still gonna be there for you and show up and answer that phone call to listen to you because you know they want the best for you and they're good people and they're, you know, gonna tell you how it is. But yeah, just build your support team because that is so important in getting through life in general and the many obstacles that come your way, like fear, sadness, grief. I mean, whatever it is. I mean, they'll really help you through it. Just talking to them and knowing that like, hey, this is life. Everybody kind of goes through this. Not really, kind of. Everybody does. And like it's gonna be better. Like things are gonna get better. Everything works out. Also, another step that I feel like is so important in this entire situation and going through it is 1000% reclaiming your power. Like definitely after going through all of this, take the time to really show yourself some self-care, like really love on yourself, or you know, pick up any new hobbies, like do whatever was holding you back, because I guarantee you going through that situation, you were probably neglecting something that you wanted to do all this time but couldn't do because you were so caught up in what was going on and in the situations that you were going through. You forgot all about your love of, you know, creating videos, for example, or creating swimwear, another great example. So yeah, like definitely reclaim it, you know, definitely remind yourself that you are amazing, you are smart, you're kind. I know that sounds very overrated, but sometimes you forget it, especially going through these different situations. Depending on the level of how toxic it was, you were probably getting beat down, you know, so bad. Probably, I don't know everyone's situation, but there are some situations where I'm sure people were getting, you know, told every nasty thing in the book. I know I was getting some of that where it was just like everything I was doing, like any and everything I was doing was never enough. But yeah, so just reminding yourself that you are amazing, that you're doing an amazing job, that you're strong, resilient, and yeah, just taking that time out for yourself and picking up new hobbies. Like for me, I like doing yoga now. Like I never was like into yoga, but now I love yoga. I watch Yoga with Bird. She's on YouTube. Love her. And like I do yoga at least like one time a day, or like once a week. I try to get it in like at least once a week. Right now I'm taking a break because my core is hurting because I picked up yoga and mat Pilates. So right now I'm like a bit sore, but I'm gonna get that started tomorrow for sure. But like, yeah, just remembering who you are, because you are that girl or that guy. You're amazing. Like, remember, remind yourself. who are. So the big takeaway here from this entire girl chat slash podcast slash Gabby doesn't really know what she's gonna call this, but it's Gab and Elevate. And we're elevating to a whole nother level. Hello, we're elevating. But yeah, the big thing I want y'all to take away is just remembering who you are, having a very strong support system around you, and like letting it out, just letting it out, whether you're letting it out to your support, your family, your friends, whomever, or just letting it out to yourself. There's nothing wrong with talking to yourself, no matter what people say. People, let it out. If you need to let it out in any way that's gonna help you, in the best way, like just let it out. You need to talk to yourself in the dark at night, do it. Like, who's gonna stop you? No one. And that's okay. Keep doing you, and if it makes you feel better, that's great. That's great. Who cares what people have to say? But yeah, I feel like you guys should take the time and reflect on whatever you're going through in your own life and the situation that you might be going through, and just, you know, maybe look at it through a different lens. Just to close this off on a very positive note, just remember that letting go opens the doors to like all new opportunities. Like, just know that even though you might be feeling like this is the end, just know that it's not. It's so far from it. Whether you're like 20 like me, or you're in your 40s, 50, whatever, I don't care how old you are, just know that this is not the end, especially when you know that you're a very amazing, beautiful person at heart, and you ain't burned no bridges with nobody. And if you did burn those bridges, it's because they deserve the bridges to be burned. But just know that, like, you know, only positive things and great things are going to come from here. And just reflect on your life and just look back at like all the amazing things that really worked out, even when you thought that shit was about to go in a whole different way. Like, just reflect on that and know that like things are gonna get better. Overall, thank you guys so much for listening to my rant and advice and everything that I was talking about. But thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully you guys were able to take some of the things that I've said and really apply it to your life in any type of way, in helping you. Trust yourself, trust your gut, and remember that like this is not the end. This is not Skyfall from Adele, and everything's gonna work out exactly the way it needs to. Like, there's nothing to worry about. Just know that you're strong, you are smart, you are brilliant, and everything, and I know I've said this like 50,000 times. You could drop it in the comments how many times I probably said this phrase, but everything is gonna work itself out exactly the way it needs to. Period.